Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Arena Show. Remember, my name is Colin Sambai, and each and every Sunday, we are always bringing you very interesting conversations with our politicians and people shaping the nation. Lakini leo kwa sababu ni Monday, we have a very special interview ahead of us. We have been joined by the women rep for Uasin Gishu County. Yes, we are joined by women rep for Uasin Gishu County, a very vocal leader. I think she is the most vocal within the region. Famously known as the Iron Lady. Karibu sana kwenye show mheshimiwa.
Thank you very much, Collins. I really appreciate.
Asante sana for honoring our invite.
Yes, thank you. It's my pleasure.
Umepotea sana.
Yes, first of all, yes, I'll answer you to that. But first, I want to say thank you very much for inviting me to this show. I want to promote creation of content by people like you. I want us to have other sources of outlets. Because like you know, what we used to call our mainstream media has become extremely toxic. And some of us who used to frequent those stations now almost are tired of attending those shows because they're not meaningful. And they're not factual, and they are used to, create, headlines, but not really to tell the public what's happening. So when I come to a show like this, I'm very happy. I want to promote you. In fact, I always tell people what we used to call mainstream media is now the alternative media, and people like you, Collins, are now the mainstream media. So I shall continue to support you. And then you've asked me, where have I been?
Yes.
That's a very interesting question. I have been around. And like you know, Collins, I always say my work speaks for itself. Recently, I was in Keses for the M-Pesa Foundation as a medical camp, which they co-sponsored and supported Gladys Boss Foundation. We treated 4,600 people. Before that, I was at St. Bridget's Catholic Hospital in Kapseret. Again, there we saw over 3,000 people. I had surgeons, top surgeons from the United States who came to treat our people. We did goiter surgeries and tumor surgeries. I have been very big on women empowerment programs and also empowering young people. As you know, I've also been involved in cataract surgeries, especially for young people. I've been involved in ensuring that young people in schools they have eye tests to ensure that if they need glasses, we have been able to provide that, because I'm a strong believer in education. But we realize that some of the challenges that children have in education is that sometimes their eyesight is a problem. So you say, this child asomi, hata elewi darasa, kumba asomi blackboard, nawezi soma kitabu. And particularly for me, that's very important because I was born with congenital cataract on my left eye. And to this day, I don't have 100% vision on my left eye. But it's because my parents did not know about it. Had I had the surgery before I was 12, I would have 100% vision. So today I promise myself that as a woman representative of Uasin Gishu County, I do not want any child to go through what I went through. Thank God that my other eye was working, or else I'd be technically blind. So yes, I've been around but involved in the kind of various works I do. You might have seen that almost over 300 schools in Uasin Gishu County have received water tanks, who have never had water tanks ever since independence. I've also been involved in ensuring that young people are able to get into self-employment. And you might have seen that I had functions where I issued out cement making machines, the vibrators for making culverts, giving them the balloon to do it. Because young people, yes, they can apply for government tenders, but they don't have the equipment, so they don't qualify. So many of them have been able to get government tenders. I know that there is one particular group that is building a 4-story building somewhere in Keses. It's a success story. There are women who now are able to lease out their equipment, brick making machines. And so I deal with empowering people from a base there where they are. I've been involved in also ensuring that young border riders who don't own the borders are able to now own it by us issuing it to them. and they are able to do that. So yes, when you ask me where have you been, my work has been speaking for me.
Lakini sasa mheshimiwa ufanye publicity.
That's not my personality. Maybe it's the way I've been socialized and cultured. Is that I grew up as a technocrat, not really as a politician. So if you ask me to publicize things, I don't think about it. Sometimes I remember I landed at the medical camp in Keses, and someone asked me, so how are we going to do the publicity? I hadn't thought about it. Thank God somebody thought about it and we just gave an interview. But I was too overwhelmed just by dealing with the numbers of people that come in. Because when I'm at there, I don't even have time to do interviews or even send something on the social media or post it. Because at that time I'm dealing with real life crisis. There's somebody who has an infection which is near critical in their leg, and we have to transfer them to another hospital. We have somebody who has kidney failure and has a very short time to be able to access treatment. So I'm not good at publicizing myself. Yes, I can tell you that's not something I'm good at. But what I know, for example, the 4,625 people that were treated at the medical camp will tell my story. The people who got the equipment from me and have been able to start their own business will tell their story. Zedi Chepleting, who's now recovering from a kidney transplant, will tell my story. Her parents will tell my story. Those children that were not able to go to school and went back to school will tell my story. Those who have received wheelchairs from the work that I do will tell my story. The 15 students from Gishu County who went to Toolkit training camp in Kikuyu in Kiambu County and now are going to get jobs in France will tell my story. So I believe all those children who I got eyeglasses, over 11,000 reading glasses to young people, they will tell my story. And those children one day are going to be great people in this society. They will tell my story. So it fills my heart to know that I've done the job. It does not fill my heart to tell the story. Because that's not who I am.
So unaamini ile kazi ambayo unafanya
my work will speak for itself. Yes. I know that when we did the goiter surgeries, people called me and said, somebody in our church gave testimony this Sunday. Another person said, somebody else gave testimony in the church and said, anaweza soma Bible sasa, ulimfanyia cataract surgery. So for me, those are the things that tell my story. And even if you look at my work, I believe for me, medical, women empowerment, and ensuring that our children have access to education and equal opportunities that is my mission. That is my ministry. So everybody has something that they do. And for me, that's what I'm passionate about.
Hey, umekuwa busy sana. Unajua, when I invited you to the show, some people wakaniambia enda na dictionary. Kwa sababu ile Kiingereza itakuwa pale.
No. I've been a teacher. So I know when to speak technically and I know when to break down information. So I hope what I've explained to you is extremely simple. And I also want to tell people, if they saw me, I was in Plateau Mission Hospital. We are putting a brand new mother and baby maternity wing. The one that has been there from the 50s. I was born there. We are also doing the same at Keses Sub-County Hospital. We are also doing that in various schools where we are turning into sports academies. So there's a lot of work going on, apart from what I do at the national government.
Umekuwa busy all around.
Yes.
Okay.
I never have a dull moment in my life. And every day I must account for what I did by the end of the day. I have a list and I must tick my box. Even things that I need to do around my house. I'll say this window needs fixing. The grass has to be cut. And even I need to bake a cake for my kids, which I did today.
Sawa. Sasa tumejua where you have been. Wacha nikurudishe nyuma hapo kidogo.
Yes.
Let's start with your journey. You moved from being a top lawyer and registrar of the Judiciary to politics. How was the journey? Or what motivated you to move from Judiciary to politics?
In my entire career, I've never really planned what to do. Somehow, I do one thing that leads me to another. So, for example, when I finished university, when I was at university, I assumed that I would be a courtroom lawyer. But when I finished university, I didn't want to be a courtroom lawyer anymore. And at that time, there was a lot of talk about environment. So I went to the University of Cape Town and studied maritime environment law with my master's degree. And by the time I finished, when I was writing my thesis, I went to do research at United Nations Environment Program. And there was a job that came up, which was called International Waters Consultant. I applied for it. I got it. International level job, my first job. Okay. So I stumbled upon it. I just think God clears my path for me. And when I was done with, when I was at the United Nations, I finished that. And then I was posted to Bangkok. And I had a baby. I was newly married. I couldn't go to Bangkok, so I gave up the job. And when I gave up the job, somebody said to me, at the University of Nairobi, there is the Law of the Sea program. And they needed somebody to run the program. So I was invited there. I applied for the job and I went to run that. But you had to be appointed as a lecturer to be able to get to do the job. And I did that. And then shortly after that, when the program ended, after 3 years, I was called back to teach in class. I had never taught before. I was terrified. The first day, I was trembling in class when I had to address the students. And remember, I was almost their age. University of Nairobi. Okay. That's the only place I taught. And my former university. So I remember I was almost the same age as the students I was teaching. Because I had come out straight from my master's and then to go to teach. And that's why today I'm proud to say I taught people like Waziri Murkomen was my student. Waziri Soipan was my student. Governor Kangata was my student. Governor Sang was my student. P.S. Mariro was my student. Daniel Manzo, Senator, was my student. Peter Kaluma, MP for Homa Bay Town, was my student. I think in Bunge, I must have at least more than 10 students whom I taught and who are now in politics. And various places. That's my claim to fame. Okay. And that's the most fulfilling thing about being a teacher. So you actually see your products and they even become better than you, which is good. Yes.
That is a plus for you.
It is.
Congratulations on that. Aya, sawa. Siasa ukajoin lini?
Siasa, I joined Siasa. What happened, I stumbled into it. I never thought I would ever join politics. I never thought about it. But I remember at the time when I had a fallout with the judiciary, and I was accused of corruption. They dismissed me from my job as chief registrar of the judiciary. And at that time, what I did is, it was the first time I went out in public. I went to every TV station. I held press conferences to defend myself and clear my name. And it was the first time the people of Uasin Gishu noticed me. They said, oh, this vocal woman, this strong woman, she's very articulate, is from Uasin Gishu County. And she's being vilified in Nairobi. And so people then said to me, if they don't want you in Nairobi, you come home and we'll hire you. And so that's how I began to think about it. I consulted people and I got into politics. But I want to say that my fallout to the judiciary, even though it was the toughest time of my life and I was tested and challenged, it turned out to be the greatest blessing in my life, because it allowed me to be seen, to speak up, and to be noticed, which eventually got me elected as a county member of parliament for Uasin Gishu County. And it's been a great journey. And eventually I went to court and sued for wrongful dismissal all the way to the Supreme Court. It took me 9 years, but in 2022, in February, the Supreme Court cleared me.
Cleared your name.
And said that I was wrongfully dismissed and I was awarded damages. And other newspapers that wrote about me, I sued them and the courts awarded me damages. So I was vindicated. But that tough time made me grow. And I used to tell people, the hotter the fire, the purer the gold. So I came out as pure gold.
Sorry for that. Kumbe ulipitia mengi huko.
But it eventually worked for me.
Yeah, true.
So I always tell people, not every bad thing that happens to you is a bad thing.
Kama ingekuwa hiyo ungejoin siasa.
I would not be in politics and nobody would know who I am.
Okay.
And I would not have become as strong as I am because it toughened me. I came out of my little boardroom and little red carpeted office where I used to serve as a technocrat and now I interact with people. I've been able to see the real challenges facing the people of Kenya and the people of Uasin Gishu, and I've been able to serve them and reach them, and I can tell you I have no regrets and I love the job that I'm doing at the moment. And also I got the opportunity to participate in supporting a presidential candidate who won.
Okay.
And setting up a party that within 8 months had rallied 8 million people and got a president elected on the first touch.
I see. Okay.
So it's been a great opportunity and a great journey.
Umekuwa a very strong supporter of the President
Yes.
William Ruto.
Yes.
Even during tough times. What makes you stand firmly with him?
Because
Nini unaonanga kwake, unaona ni mwanasiasa?
Because he's an inspiration to many. I'm not somebody who just supports someone for the sake of supporting him. I look at his life. I mean, to be elected at the age of 23 from a family that practically came from the bottom of the economic ladder, for him to grow in politics consistently over a period of 23 of 30 years now. So he didn't become a president by mistake. He's worked consistently and in a focused, methodical way to get there. He has great ideas about what he wants to do about this country. He has such clarity, and it is the same things that I believe in. So yes, I do support him because I also support his ideology. And he's clear that he wants to change Kenya and transform Kenya. And he's willing to take the difficult path.
Okay. During
2018.
Yeah, 2018. There was a lot of tension between President Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto. Yes. How did you handle that and still manage to secure your seat as a women rep of Uasin Gishu?
I remember that in fact, I was introduced to President Ruto by Uhuru Kenyatta.
Oh.
I did not know William Ruto before.
So ulitangulia kujua Uhuru Kenyatta?
Yes. Okay. And that was because when I was deputy CEO at the Electoral Commission, he was the leader, the chairman of KANU. And there were some fights between KANU, between him and Salat. So I ended up brokering peace between them, and that's how I got to know him. I also know that he then afterwards became the deputy prime minister and became minister of finance. And I was then running the Electoral Commission. And we needed money to run the referendum. So I interacted with him as minister as I sought money to run the referendum. So that's how I first met him. And I believed in the team when they joined when they ran for elections in 2013. But although I was not in politics at that time. And so later, when there was the fallout, I mean, 2017, I joined them and I ran on a Jubilee ticket when I decided to join politics. But soon after, by 2018 March, there was the handshake with Raila Odinga, and then there was the fallout. But we had clarity that at that time I'd gotten to know President Ruto, and I was inspired by his ideas, what he wanted to do for the country. So I still support him as deputy president, but I knew we'd support him also for presidency in 2022, which is what we did. At that time, I remember I was chairperson for delegated legislation in Parliament. I was removed from the position because I supported President Ruto. But I was clear. It didn't bother me at all. In fact, we went on, and at that time, they were trying to push the BBI. I was a big anti-BBI campaigner. I went on YouTube. I fafaduad the whole thing, explained to Kenyans, campaigned across the country against it. At that time, we had a team called Inua Mama, Inua Mama, Inua Jamii. And we went to every single county fighting BBI.
Why were
Actually, it's Inua Mama that brought down BBI.
Ni nini uliona kwa BBI yenye haikuwa mzuri?
BBI was, I mean, the court eventually made the decision and said that it was utterly contrary to the very fabric of our constitutional structure. And at that time, as a lawyer, I could see it. There were things that they were trying to put inside inside the constitution which was not acceptable. And also it was selfish. The whole BBI was intended to allow Uhuru Kenyatta get a third term through the back door, because he was going to then be Prime Minister, and Raila Odinga was going to be President, and William Ruto would probably be in Sugoi with us now. Yes, so it was for selfish purposes. It was not for the good of the country. Yes, and I was vindicated because the courts, right up to the Supreme Court, agreed with my exact argument. Yes.
You brought down BBI.
Yes.
Congratulations pia on that. Naona hapa ni flowers too we are giving you. Asante sana kwa kazi mzuri ambayo unafanya. Tukoona pia 2022 ka support President Ruto.
Yes.
Na mkashinda. What are some of the achievements that you can say the government has achieved so far?
I think what the government has achieved at the moment is to be able to lay a foundation for the economic transformation of Kenya. Because remember, when you're building a house, you must build a foundation first. You just don't start building a house. And that's what Kenyans don't understand. The last 2.5 years, President Ruto has been setting the foundation. And there are certain things that affect the very fabric of our country. One is that we say we want Kenya to be a manufacturing country. We want to become an industrialized country. But you cannot become an industrialized country when we don't have skilled labor. Hence the reason that this government has promoted the establishment of TVETs, technical and vocational training institutions. And this is not something that President Ruto thought about now. He began that when he was Minister of Education. Then it fell on the wayside. But when he became president, he's now added more gravitas to make sure that happens. That's one. That's important because that's what's going to give jobs to our youth. So when our youth say they want jobs, the jobs don't fall from the sky. The jobs come with deliberate, concrete initiatives that are undertaken that will then become drivers of job creation. There is also the issue that 70% of the people who live in cities, who are young people, live in slums or informal settlements. There is no water, there is no sanitation, there is no security, and there is no amenities. And Article 43 of our Constitution says that everyone has a right to housing, to health, to a safe, clean environment. So what this current government, I'm saying those are the achievements, is to actualize Article 43. Article 43 has been there since 2010, but no one has acted deliberately on it. Because Kenyans were very clear when they wanted Article 43. So the housing program, the affordable housing program, is to ensure that everyone has access to affordable housing that has sanitation and is safe and is in a healthy environment. And many people have missed the point. I was talking to some young people who are working in my shamba this week. And there's one gentleman called Koech. He comes from Rodi, Road Block Pale. He brings a group of boys who come to work. And I asked him, have you applied for affordable housing? He said no. I asked him, how much do you pay as rent? He said, I pay 2,500. So I told him, I'll register all of you. And I'll pay the 500 shillings for you and add you as some deposit to put on it. And I told him, do you know you can have a house where you will pay 2,500? It has electricity, it has water, it has proper bathroom facilities. Then he said, but I can't afford the deposit. I said, no. Under social housing, if you earn below 20,000 shillings, the government is going to pay your deposit. It will be included in your 2,500 shillings. All you have to do is get your local chief and there's the team from the county commissioner and housing. They come and assess where you're living. They look at your shack, make an assessment, and confirm that you fall under the social housing. And you will move into that house, and you will have everything, and you will even have Wi-Fi at, I think, 20 bob a day or something like that. Or is it 10 bob? You will also have, you can get furniture, it will be fully furnished, and you pay an extra 200 shillings a month for it. For
furniture?
Yes. Because if you look at living in the informal settlements, it's not the same. And there'll be a school nearby, there'll be a dispensary nearby, and there'll be a market nearby.
But that is not what those people are saying.
Yes, exactly. That's why I said I'm happy, and I'll be a big supporter of your show.
Asante sana.
And I want you to talk about those things. Because imagine, Koech did not know that.
Pia mimi, I went there. We went there with a friend anaitwa Alan.
Yes.
So tukaambiwa, for you to be registered, you have to pay 10% of the total amount.
No, there are three types of housing. There is social, where the government, the housing fund will cover your deposit. You don't have to give the deposit up front. It will be all inclusive in that amount. All you have to do is pay what you normally pay. So if you saw the ones in Nairobi, somebody is paying 3,000 a month, they continue paying the 3,000. What they were paying in the slum for a house ya mabati. Enye ina mali kitu yoyote ingine, na baridi na ingia, na floods inabeba. Then there is so people who are earning below 20,000. Then there is another group of people who are earning below, I've suddenly forgotten. But anybody who earns over 150,000 will have to go to market rates. Market rates. That's the one you pay the 10%.
Yes, we were told the total amount should be around 2.6 for maybe a
bedroom. Yes, it goes up to 6 million shillings.
So we were supposed to pay 260,000.
Yes. And the thing is, so you see, it goes according to what you earn.
Okay.
Yes.
What about somebody who is not employed?
Sorry?
Somebody who is not employed.
So you know, the thing about it is 4 million Kenyans are formally employed. About 4 million. But there's another 16 or more million who are informally employed. Unajua ule mtu anauzanga, anasukumanga mkokoteni, anaendesha boda, mama mboga anauza mboga hapo, wale watu wanafanya hawking kwa street, they are still employed. And they are still paying rent somewhere. Sindio?
True.
So what we are saying is that instead of paying in a shack where you still have to buy water kando, bado utatumia kerosene uende kununua uweke kando, you're getting everything. So you're still using the same amount you pay. Because most of those people in the informal settlements are actually working.
Yes.
They're either working in a factory, maybe they are working as a mamafua. Like my housekeeper is going to be a proud owner of a house in the ones that are being built in Langata because we've signed her up. So it is possible. And that's why I'm saying many young people haven't understood that there is an opportunity. So hata kama mtu unafanya kibarua, that is still a job. You're still employed.
So you still qualify for the social.
Yes, you apply for the one that is social.
Okay.
So there's a lot of good in it, and I hope you will begin to talk about that.
Yeah.
And if you want, I can come and do just one show to talk about that. Then there is, you're asking me about what are the good things the government has done. That I'm extremely proud of. That we are going to get rid of slums in Kenya. And that everybody will have a decent house. I'm also proud of the fact, the funding model, the new funding model. The new funding model, for those who come from a social background that cannot afford, you can pay up to, the government can fund you through the loan board or through the scholarship program up to 90% of your fees. So even if you get a school fees from university or college saying that you need 300,000, that you can apply to. I know that a lot of young people had challenges because many of them would apply and then you ask them, where do you live? They say where they live. And then they say, is your house, what is your house made of? They say ni ya mabati na mawe. Muko na stima? Yes. shamba yenyu ni size gani, nasema 100 acres. But the problem is, it's not their parents' house. It's for the grandfather. I'm almost talking in Kalenjin.
It is okay. Hapa ni uko nyumbani.
I also want everybody to hear. So, but it belongs to the grandfather. So the parents are actually squatters in that land. And the parents have no job. So many young people did not know how to answer the questions. That's why they were put in the bracket where they were required to pay more money. Then some of them also didn't understand that when they asked, which school were you? They say, I was in Starehe Boys Center. Who paid your school fees? They say, my parents. But actually, they were on scholarship. But the young person thinks, if I say I was on scholarship, pengine sitapata scholarship at university or for the college. So sometimes they give inaccurate information, and that's what I'm saying. Shows like this, you can do so much justice to our society if you can teach them, even explain to them how to fill the form accurately, so that you can be able to access. That's why eventually the good thing is that we realized there was a challenge. And you saw, I did my part as a legislator. When the Minister of Education came to Parliament, I asked those hard questions. And now we've asked, they eventually changed the questionnaire so that it can be better. And you see a lot of young people were going to the cyber, alafu you leave it to mtu wa cyber, anakujazia tu.
Anasema ana charge 100 kujaza.
Anakujazia lakini amejaza wrong information. Same story with SHA. Somebody puts the wrong information, so they are put at a they are told, oh, utalipanga 1,600 per month. When they used to pay 500 for NHIF, so the person anakasirika, anasema shani is a bad thing. So it's educating. We need to educate people. But again, I said, when you roll out a program, there will be challenges, but then it will improve. And so I'm very proud of the SHA program. Today, when anybody comes to me and tell me they have a Harambee, the first thing I ask, do you have SHA? If they don't have SHA, I say first, register for SHA, I'm paying for you SHA immediately. Once I've paid for you SHA, then let's talk about the balance that you don't have to fanya Harambee. The young lady whom fills my heart, Zedi Chepleting, who's recovering now from a kidney transplant which was done at MTRH. And thanks to Dr. Kirwa, the CEO, who was very supportive. We put her on SHA. And SHA has paid 1.5 million shillings for her operation. The total was about 1.8 million. So we just have to look for the balance and some of the medicines and the continuous care that she requires, which SHA pays. I think we always have shortages of 5,000, 2,000. So even for me, I'm happy. The burden on me is very small because SHA has taken it. So we need to register for SHA. I know that that one of the issues, again, as I said, we need to have more shows talking about this. I remember I asked a doctor, I said, somebody said they went to the hospital and they were sent back and told they cannot get medicine. Then I was told primary health care is free already. It's covered by government under the county and everything. But when you go to from level 3, 4, 5, when you go there, it's covered by SHA. So when you go for, let's say, a place where you're going to pick diabetes medicine or high blood pressure medicine, if you go to a referral hospital, you're told SHA can't pay. But if you go to a primary care facility, SHA, you're given the medicine for free. So people say SHA is not working. But it's because people don't know what is a primary health care facility and what is a referral facility. I mean, a level 3, 4, 5. Even I don't know. And I remember at that time I told the minister, I don't know those levels. If somebody is sick, I go to the nearest hospital. I don't say this one is primary, this one is level 4, this level 5. But
there's responsibility again to inform the
public, yes. And I remember at that time I was I said, why don't you set up a primary care facility, a room called primary care within the same hospital?
Yeah, within the same hospital.
Because there are some hospitals where it's only the referral hospital that is in the area. There is no other primary care facility in the area. So mtu hawezi wacha hospitali that is iko karibu. Aruke aende mahali ingine. And so those were the challenges. But again, we continue to educate people. And the good thing is those people who have gotten very good stories. That's what I'm saying. Eventually, the biggest marketers are the people who have interacted with these facilities and being able to sell it. And so I'm glad that more and more now, people are saying SHA is working. We believe in SHA. And many people now do, in fact support it. So if you tell me anytime to have a government that wants to make sure that everybody, whether you have a job or not, you will have access to health care. That for me is unbelievable. And those are the things that we must laud the government about. We've also looked at, I also see the government, many roads were stalled. And the contractors had not been paid. But the government now has done a program where all contractors, by 2 months ago, all of them had been paid 40% of their outstanding fees, outstanding bills. And another 60% is in the process of being paid at the moment. What does that do? If you pay pending bills, the money is in the economy and circulates. Because when a contractor has a job, he's hiring many young people. He's hiring other people. He's renting somebody's car. He's renting somebody's tractor. He's putting vijana hapo kwa wakati ofieke nyazi, walime, masons, mixing on the site and so on. So that's job creation. And affordable housing also creates jobs. So let's have a long-term view of things. It won't happen overnight. It will, but it will happen. So the question we should be asking ourselves, are we in the right direction as a country? The answer is yes. Is Kenya destined for greatness? Yes. Is William Ruto driving the country in the right direction? I will say yes. And to believe me, I shall be vindicated and he shall be vindicated. I have no doubt in my mind whatsoever, and call me. And ask me again. I shall be here. Yes.
Asante sana. Hiyo ni kazi ya William Samoei Ruto. Wacha turudi sasa nyumbani kwa kazi yako kama women rep hapo Uasin Gishu. Umesifika sana kwa jinsi unavyotumia NGAF. How are you using it to make sure that it is equally distributed across the county?
First of all, what we do, whatever the amount that we have, and when people make applications to access the bursaries, the fund, the economic empowerment, value added, and youth, money for youth and people with disabilities, we make sure we spread it to those categories. We also make sure that Uasin Gishu has 30 wards. And we make sure that every ward has already been covered. And so we look at it from the ward and map it, and we have the data right from 2017, so that we make sure that no group that had benefited before benefits again. And then we also make sure that when students apply, if there are so many, what we do is we look at the neediest case. So we make sure that orphans, people whose parents have disability and not able to work, get priority. So we go in that order, so that we make sure that they are able to have access. I also made it clear that I'm not going to give everybody 3,000 shillings in bursary. When I pick a student, if they are a needy student, nothing is going to change in 4 years. So I make sure we pick them from Form 1 to Form 4. And right now we are focusing on secondary school, because that's where they need the fees. Because with the colleges, we know that they can access help or they can access something else. And also if somebody delays 1 year going to university or to college is okay. But somebody dropping out of high school is a crisis. So of course we've got to balance. Just the way in your own homestead, you tell yourself, I have so much money, what are the priorities? So I pick out the priorities, and today I'll give you a list of the places that we see that there is a need. That I have, where I have given. Like for example, water tanks. I say I want a school that does not have any water tank at all. Those are the ones we give If you already have a water tank, tunawachana na nyinyi.
Mongoze kwanza.
Yeah, I give the ones who don't have. So we have clarity in that. I also, when it's feeding, school feeding program, I look at the schools where the children from the neighborhood come from poor families. So you will look at, and then I also look at others who already are covered. For example, there are some schools already work on a feeding program and they have a sponsor. I don't take those ones.
Okay.
So I take the ones that don't have a sponsor. Like I remember Kipkaren primary, when I went there to take food to them, we realized that a lot of the kids sometimes would come to school. The teachers tell us they have not eaten a meal. So we make sure that we have fortified porridge for them in the mid-morning, so that and it has enough nutrients to cover anything they require, the body needs. And then they also get a meal at lunchtime. So even wakifika nyumbani wasipokula, they'll have gotten something. So we are very deliberate. And because I've been a technocrat, I speak to data and I look at data. So I have clarity. I have visited schools, and like now I do school uniforms also. And I go to a school, I see the kids who have clothes that are torn, and I pick them out, their measurements are taken, and I give uniforms. So I actually have over 1,000 pieces of uniforms that in the next 7 days I'm giving to the students. And the reason why I understand that, if a child has a torn dress, they have a shorts with a hole. That child is, even if they are clever, they will never learn. Why? Because they lack confidence.
Yeah, they're insecure.
Confidence is very important. So I know it gives them confidence. Hence, that's why I focus. So I focus, I believe in minimum resources, maximum impact. Because that child being able to hold their head high, that they are not wearing a torn trouser and covering themselves and not being able to sit down is important. I have been, I'm happy that the government has now taken over the issue of sanitary towels for girls, because I was, at that time I was supporting Justice Njoki Ndung'u, who is now Supreme Court judge. At that time, she started the issue of sanitary towels. And at that time, sanitary towels had 16% VAT. And when we asked the minister at that time, why 16% on sanitary towels? He said, I have a committee that decides. When we asked the committee said, oh, sanitary towels ni vitu ya wanawake, ni kama lipstick na perfume, etc. And I was like, what? Sanitary towels is a necessity. Yes, it's a lipstick I can live without.
Yes, exactly.
But can you see, that's the way they thought about it. But do you know what the problem was? The entire committee were men. So of course they have no idea. Okay. And that's why I'm a big proponent of ensuring that there's more women in decision making. Because there are certain things that women can see that men won't see. And there are things that men can see that women will not see. There are things that people with disability can see. Somebody with disability will tell you, I need a ramp.
Yes.
Whereas I wouldn't think I need a ramp. And that's why inclusivity in every aspect of decision making in our country is very important. And I'm being a big proponent of that. And that's why you see me doing that in my, I've been trying to push the 2/3 gender rule. I've been also trying to pass the on issues of equality and human rights. And I tell people it's not about gender. It's not about women. People think the gender rule is about women. It's about human rights. It's about equality for both men and women. Because I say in 10 years' time, God forbid, the men will need the 2/3 gender rule. At the rate we are going,
women are taking over.
No, the boy child has been left behind. It's a crisis.
Yes.
I just look at any choir, even if you go to church, you see the people singing in a church, in a choir, the people who are confident, who are expression and full of life are always the girls. The boys are somewhere at the back. So we are losing our boys, and it's important that we begin to look at that. And that's why I tell the men, this 2/3 gender rule is not for women. It is for both men and women. And you will need it one day. Because today, 60% of law school are women.
So soon
80% of people studying for PhD are women. Middle-level managers in our banks, majority are women. Yes.
So soon tutaanza kuona men empowerment.
Yes, we need to know, and I look at it. I look at it and I say that we need to have a deliberate effort, just the way we had a deliberate effort with the girl child. We need to have a deliberate effort with the boy child. And there's also more pressure for the boy child than was in the past. Yeah, the expectations are too high.
You have also led many women empowerment programs in Uasin Gishu. Unaweza tuambia some of them, for example?
First of all, under the National Government Affirmative Action Fund, we definitely pick out all the groups that, we have been funding women since, and youth and people with disabilities. That's our big focus. I've continued to do that. I've also continued to ensure that we mentor young people. You'll see that I visit schools a lot and talk to young people and give them an opportunity. I've also made sure that I've encouraged, like when there is positions for the army, the police, prison wardens recently, many people think, people who come to me are usually young men, but the girls don't. So I tell the girls, you can join the army. Recently, I got girls to go and train in what we call MIG welding. MIG welding is the welding that is done for aeroplanes, for ships, and other such aircrafts. And I deliberately, when I was asking for people to put on that scholarship, I deliberately said, I want to have half women and half men. And actually the best performers were the girls. Yes.
Tunaona the women gender wanaendelea kushine. Wacha turudi kwa mambo ya Gachagua. You are among those who pushed for the impeachment of Deputy President Gachagua.
Yes.
Ni nini uliona hakuwa anafanya vizuri?
Actually, si ati niliona, mwenyewe alisema. You understand? First of all, and I can give you a few instances.
Tuambie tu.
One, he went to Githurai and he was on top of his car. He had people with him and they were chanting, Ruto must go. Ruto is a one-term president. And you are the deputy. That is the highest level of insubordination. And the constitution is clear that one of the reasons why you can be impeached as a minister or as a deputy president is for insubordination. That's one. That one he said himself. It's on TV. Yes. Then he went on to criticize in a press conference the Director General of the National Intelligence Service and even said details about what was going on. Remember, he is, as deputy president, he was, as deputy president, a member of the National Security Council, which means he has opportunity to discuss this at that level. And they swear an oath of secrecy. You cannot come and talk about things that happened. He also publicly discussed things that happened in cabinet. You have taken an oath of secrecy for a reason. You cannot do that. Again, he had contravened the laws of Kenya. So he had a litany of items that did happen. And you cannot be a principal assistant when you are not assisting the principal. That is common sense.
True.
Yeah, so I cannot imagine as deputy speaker contradicting the substantive speaker. My job is to assist them. I am not the speaker. I am the deputy. And I have clarity in what my position is. So when you start contradicting your boss, you cannot work. And anywhere, in the private sector, it is a career limiting move instantly. Yes, you will be suspended immediately. In fact, there is summary dismissal. He was lucky that he had a process to defend himself. So I have no doubt that it was within the constitution and has been upheld by the courts.
Some people have also said that move to impeach the deputy president, the former deputy president, has divided the country even more. What will you say to them?
He already was dividing the country long before that. Remember, he had started talking about Murima, the people of the mountain, shares. So he started the divisiveness. And we had to put a stop to the divisiveness. And we also, and clear message need to be sent to leaders that when you become a divisive leader, it's contrary to the National Cohesion and Integration Act. There is a law against it. So it's not the impeachment. He started it long before, and we have stopped it. And in fact, if you look now, the country is better united. We have a broad-based government. So the country is in a better place. In fact, he's a lone ranger with probably 6 people who are following him that are talking their own show. The rest of the country is together.
So in your own view, Nona, the country is more united now?
The country is more united now because he's isolated with his gang. Yes.
People say that amekutanisha mlima. That is what people say. They are saying the government is losing grip of the people of Mount Kenya. What do you have to say about that?
Functions have been happening in Mount Kenya. Roads are being built in Mount Kenya. The Cherry Fund is ongoing. Programs that have been going on in Mount Kenya is going on. So nobody has isolated the mountain. And in fact, let's just wait for 2027 and see. That's when Kenyans will speak. I always say Kenyans speak through the ballot. Let's wait for the ballot.
Now that tumeongelea pia mambo ya 2027, tumeona opposition imekuwa ikiungana with the rise of other presidential aspirants, kama the likes of Matiang'i, Maraga. So what do you have to say about the presidential candidates kama Matiang'i?
No, I think everybody has a right to run for any...
Do they stand a chance?
That is not for me to say. What I know is that my candidate, President William Ruto, is going to win the election again. I don't care about other candidates because I don't. But what I can tell you is that people are entitled to say they are running for president. They are going to be deputy president. People can form their own coalitions. That's within our law. It's acceptable. And it has happened since time immemorial. From the time when Jaramogi had, then there was the one of the people who wanted the Majimboism, the ones who wanted this. That has always happened. It's part of our politics in Kenya. We've had different formations. We had NAC. During those days, we had the Rainbow, we had the ODM, the Orange Democratic Movement. When we had the first referendum in 2005, we had the Orange and Banana team. Then we had the yes and no in 2010. So that's part of the politics, and that's the beauty of a democratic country. Yes. So it's perfectly, in fact, I don't know why people make a big deal of it. In fact, it would be boring if we didn't have people popping up and saying they want to run for president. Yes, that's what gives us work. And that's part of our job as people who aspire for political leadership or are in political leadership.
Sawa, wacha tukuje your role as a deputy speaker.
Yes.
You are the second woman in history, in Kenyan history, to become the deputy speaker. So any challenges as a woman in leadership?
I think I am grateful and humbled and truly blessed that I have been able to serve in various positions that women haven't been able to serve. I have been privileged to serve my country, a privilege that I don't take for granted. And that is why I have always worked 10 times harder than most people at every job I'm given, because I am grateful for the opportunity, and I do not take it for granted that I was able to serve in those positions. I know that I was CEO of a state corporation before I was 30. And at that time, there were challenges, yes. But I grew to be tough and to know that I can own my space by making sure that I am competent. Because once you're a performer, it's difficult for people to even begin to look at you as a woman anymore. And so I think I pride myself in that. I always, I remember when I was part of the president's president team, campaign team in the what we call the command center at that time. And I remember that I put in hours. I spent 4 nights straight at Bomas of Kenya without leaving. And the thing is, I've always told myself, I do not want people to say because I'm a woman, I can't cope with the difficulty of the job. I will put in all my effort. And so I worked as hard as the rest of the men on the team.
Okay.
So they don't look at me as somebody who's weak and not able to do it. We are sitting there, we're not going to shower, we're not going to sleep, I'm there. And I'll be there with you. I'll drink enough coffee to keep me awake.
Come on, mwengine.
Come on, mwengine, yes.
Okay.
So I think I tell women, unfortunately, because you're a woman, you'll be judged harshly. So what you have to do is just put in 10 times the effort. And after that, it will not be an issue at all. As deputy speaker, I'm also lucky that I have a great boss. Right Honorable Speaker Wetangula is somebody who's seasoned. He's been at it for 30 years in Parliament, and so I was lucky that I have somebody who can could quickly coach me on what to do and understand the job. And like I said, every job I've done has been new. When I went to teach at the university, I didn't know how to teach. I remember I didn't even know how to do a lesson plan. I didn't know how to do a marking scheme. Luckily, my sister was a trained teacher. So she taught me how to do a marking scheme. So I've always learned on the job. When I joined politics, I also had to learn very quickly. I had to learn how to express myself in a language that the people could understand. And I remember that I had to explain myself for people to know who I was. And I had the opportunity to have a show on Kass FM every Tuesday. And because many people thought, does she really know Kalenjin? Does she understand our issues? So I went on the show so that they could ask me questions. And as they asked me questions, they taught me what the issues are. And I learned to listen. And I always tell people, the people who've driven my campaign are very simple people. Yes. They even taught me how to greet people correctly.
So sasa umeshika?
Nimeshika.
Okay, yes, asante sana.
But I'm a hard worker and I put in 10 times the effort on anything.
Always willing to
Yes, I told people I'd never I'd never, been a race promoter for a world accredited marathon ever. But I sat with people like Moses Tanui, who was the race founder. Chairman Chelogoi, who had been in it, and they told me we have a crisis, we need to run this. I said, okay, tell me, what do you need? By the time I was done, after sitting with them 2-3 times, nikajua you need the thing the one that the bibs that have the computer chip. I know that we have to get ADAC. I knew that we have to register people. I knew that we have to have a proper we have to have watering points every so kilometers. We have to have marshals. We have to have a local organizing committee. So I'm a quick learner. I can learn anything.
Sawa sawa mheshimiwa. Before we take a few questions from the people who are watching the show, wacha tukuulize, kumekuwa na rumors ya kwamba utawahi kuwa governor wa Uasin Gishu. We need your clarification.
I am not one of those people who start saying, I want that job when I have not finished this one. I am clear that the people of Uasin Gishu elected me as their woman representative. I will continue to do that job diligently until the time for campaigns begins. It is the people of Uasin Gishu County who will decide if they want to give me another job.
So hii rumors haijatoka kwako?
No. Have you ever heard me?
No.
Never. I don't say those things. I always tell myself, I have to do the job that I've been given. Unaweza kuwa na tamaa ya kitu ingine pale na hujamaliza hii. And let me tell you, if you do, and I said this in before 2022, people asked me again the same story. I said to them, I will do my very best on the current job that has been given to me. Because if you do that, then it is the people who will decide. Sio wewe unaenda kusimama. I said, even like I said, I didn't decide that I was going to run for politics. It was when I did certain things that people came and said, you know, and that I'm content.
Sawa sawa, ndio tuchukue maswali. Wacha nikuulize, what do you have to say about mambo ya maandamano na ile order ya shoot on the leg given by the president?
I think for me, first of all, what I would like to say is what we are seeing recently is no longer protests as envisaged in our constitution. It is no longer a youth protest. What it has degenerated to is looting, destruction of people's properties and businesses and livelihoods. And that is sad. And I'm very clear. When the young people of Kenya first came out on the street, it was organic and they were genuine. In fact, they used to post themselves on social media with their real names. They never covered their faces with masks. They never used pseudo accounts. They were real. And they had clarity. They had issues with taxation, the finance bill, and corruption. They were very clear.
Yes.
But after some days, some criminal elements and opportunists infiltrated those peaceful demonstrations and began to cause mayhem. I don't think the young people of this country initially wanted chaos, and they have never wanted chaos. So one of the things I would say is I would plead with the young people, you have been infiltrated by opportunists and criminal elements who want to ride on you to settle political scores or promote themselves for other purposes other than asking for what the young people had requested at the beginning. The young people at the beginning expressed themselves through art, music. It was peaceful, and that is allowed in the Constitution. But there is no way that it can be allowed that people can go and destroy somebody's shop. Somebody has taken a loan. Somebody has children to feed. Somebody has rent to pay in that building and has stock that they have put with their entire savings. Bankrupting families it's not a peaceful demonstration. So let us not confuse criminal actions with peaceful demonstrations that is allowed by our constitution. Yes.
Sawa sawa. Wacha tuchukue maswali kidogo hapa. Naona kuna mtu anauliza, ask mheshimiwa mali alikuwa amepotelea kama bado ni women rep wa Gishu. Yes, hiyo
I already answered that.
Uliza Glado, why she abandoned the bill she was sponsoring to eradicate cancer caused mainly by farm chemicals?
Oh no, I haven't. Oh, that's my favorite topic. Yes, I did petition Parliament for the removal of 267 pesticides that cause cancer. These pesticides were banned in Europe and America 20 years ago. And they were confirmed to cause cancer and other non-communicable diseases like tumors, neurological disorders, kidney failures, and so on. And the court in California, the Supreme Court in California, awarded the people who had been affected up to $250 million in damages. And so these products are still in our country. I put my petition in 2019. The petition went through. The committee, the Parliament agreed with me that they should be removed. The Pest Control Products Board was asked to remove those products by Parliament. They never removed. I did not stop there. I petitioned for the removal of the members of the board from office. I petitioned then Linturi, who was the Minister of Agriculture. He did not act. I did not stop there. I petitioned the next minister who came after him. And in fact, when that minister was being vetted, I asked him to give me assurance that if we approve him, he will deal with the problem. He never dealt with it. Eventually, he left office. I did not give up. I then petitioned again to the new minister, Mutahi Kagwe. I again resuscitated the petition before the implementation committee. You know, when Parliament has made a decision, there is a committee that is to make sure that decision is implemented. So I went to that implementation committee in Parliament and I said, we are supposed to remove the pesticides. They are still in the market. They summoned the board, the pest control products board, and I was appeared before it. I was there myself. And again, I asked why it's not been done. And they agreed. They removed 8 out of 267. I told them that's not enough. All 267 must be off the market. And and I've petitioned also for their removal again. But I did not give up, because I don't give up easily. We have been able to push a law, because we said if the board has failed us, we can use another method to deal with the problem. So we have amended, there was an amendment we put in the Business Laws Amendment Bill, which is now an act of Parliament. The President signed it into law in December 2024, December last year. And the law now says any product that is banned in the country of origin cannot be imported into Kenya. So if you cannot use it in America, we don't bring it to Kenya. If you cannot use it in Europe, don't bring it to Kenya. Because in Europe, those products, those pesticides, are not, they are not for use in their country, but they are allowed to manufacture them, to sell them to stupid countries like ours, who can accept to kill their people with cancer. And I've been very passionate about it. I've not given up. So now we've passed that law. The issue now is to start the implementation using the Kenya Bureau of Standards. But I'm grateful to the current minister, Waziri Mutahi Kagwe. He's the first minister of 4 ministers that have petitioned that have acted. He has now actually put in some policies. The process is ongoing, so there is light in the tunnel. But also we need to do a lot of education for our people, and I think that is where I need help from people like yourselves, Collins. Yes. Like I tell people, sometimes I talk to the board, they would tell me, but you see, if you wear a mask, if you wear protective clothing, you will not get sick from the pesticide. So I told them, do you know how much those protective clothing is? I went to the shops, we checked. It costs 9,000 shillings. So I told them, a farmer who's going to sell the tomatoes for 5,000 is going to buy clothing worth 5,000. Our farmers who don't even have gumboots. So I told them it's unrealistic. If we can't afford to protect ourselves, don't bring the product into the country. After all, we have very many other products that are safe that we can use. And Kenyans should understand there is a bigger conspiracy on this issue. In the 70s, Kenya was producing 90% of the world pyrethrum. Not Africa's pyrethrum, world pyrethrum. First, those countries that are selling these harmful pesticides made sure they destroyed our pyrethrum growing fast. Then once they destroyed it, then now they could sell the harmful chemicals to us. And I've petitioned, including the German Parliament. I have also petitioned a group of European Union MPs. I have had a big campaign that has been in the media. We have had a big expose, that documentary done. We have also, I've also been able to feature in various international magazines where I'm trying to persuade the companies and other like-minded people in Europe to help me fight it. And early this year we had what we called an agroecology conference where we had 900 people from more than 70 countries across the world, and we talked about it. And so I've gotten partners to continue to work. So yes, who is the gentleman who asked, or lady, who asked the question about the pesticide? So anyway, just let him know that I haven't given up. I will never give up on that one, that is for sure. It is something I'm passionate about, and I've continued to fight it. I know that at some point I even had death threats from the agrochemical companies, and I told them, even if you kill me, there are so many other people who are joining this campaign of mine, so it doesn't matter what you do to me. And I also don't believe I die because so and so said. You know, when my time is up, it will be up. So I haven't given it up, and I'm asking many people to talk about it. And again, I'm happy to come to this show and just talk about that issue, because there's so much to talk about, and so much that we can educate our people. Because if also our people know and they can reject those pesticides, then it can in fact help. Yes.
We alikuwa anaitwa Elias.
Now
we have somebody anaitwa Leonard Githinji. If we could have all leaders working like this and stop politics till 2027, Kenya will be greatly transformed. That's a compliment.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Kuna Honorable Francis Rono anasema mheshimiwa amefanya kazi mzuri sana hapo Uasin Gishu, national government and all over. Secondly, amesaidia pakubwa kwa women and youth empowerment. That's also a compliment.
So you see, those are people who can speak for me, because I can speak for myself. Like maybe next time I will study something in media, so I can learn to be efficient.
Yes, utakuja tukupea attachment hapa.
Munipatie attachment nijifunze. Like I told you, I'm a quick learner. I'm happy to learn.
Yes. Somebody else is asking, uliza mheshimiwa kama whatever she's talking about pia anafanya on other constituencies ama ni Ainabko peke yake. And if so, ask her to highlight a few.
Okay. Yes, no, like I said, I have a formula. I do in all, I make sure that everything, activity I do covers all sub-counties. And I know sometimes where that issue comes from. Like when I'm issuing equipment, like when I have to give out heavy equipment and machines and things like that, I mostly issue them from Kapsoya at the Deputy County Commissioner's office. It's where my affirmative action office is, and it's not me who decided for it to be there. It's where serikali ilinipatia ofisi, and then also it has a big grounds. So when I'm giving out like water tanks, vibrators for cement mixers, balloon, piki, posho mills, fodder making machines, and so on. The issue is I need a safe place to deliver them. So normally that's the place they are delivered to, because iko na kiwanja kubwa na iko na security, iko na police station. So normally I have the function there, and I issue, we do the function there, I issue, but people have come from all over Uasin Gishu. And normally what we do, like water tanks, I just tell the Nambianga board, BOM, I tell them, leteni pickup, itakuja beba tanki yenyu, we will pay the transport for you when you arrive. Ndio tukimaliza ceremony, kila mtu anabeba tanki yake. So there is no sub-county that is left behind. So you may have seen that I do it in that place, but it's for security and efficiency. Although this time, because many people wameniambia mara mingi, they've said to me, why do you do it only in Kapsoya? If things are for cases, ulete cases. So this time I spoke to my office. It's going to cost us more money, but we said let's do it. So this time I will try and go to the various sub-counties. And even then, I have had to ask. For example, in Soy, I asked, they told me, Ziwa technical now iko na kiwanja na it's secure, because my problem is I need a place where I can deliver the items. So it doesn't mean the items don't go to the whole sub-county. And in fact, let me just read for you like the things that I'm giving out now that are upcoming. Let me see. Okay, let me give one, while I'm looking for this one, let me give one example. One example is I'm having a competition, a pool competition. No pool table?
Yes.
Because I asked research to be done. Like I said, I'm a technocrat, so I do research. And I asked, what is the most popular game among young people? I was told pool. So I decided I'm going to do a pool competition called cricket. We are calling it cricket.
I was in Kapsoya yesterday. Nikaambiwa majina tu ilichukuliwa bado.
Yes.
They are still waiting for.
Yes, because it takes planning.
Okay.
What we have done is people have registered. Tuliweka posters in the pool where the pool tables are. Uasin Gishu has 156 pool tables. I know. And 570 people have registered. And those 570 people who have registered, now we've sent the names to the people who are organizing. Because that pool we are doing is internationally recognized.
Okay.
Yes. So what we are doing is that they have given the planners of the competition. Kwa sababu lazima ifuate ile formula yao.
Yes.
So everybody will play. And we'll play in every pool table station, in all 126 across Uasin Gishu.
Okay.
Then they will move to a ward, they'll go to the ward level, then they'll go to the sub-county level, then we'll have the championships at the county level.
Okay.
So the thing is, it's a competition, it's just like a Northrift City Marathon. People have to register. We have to give their names in advance to Athletics Kenya. Then Athletics Kenya and ADAC and everything, they give, everything has to be done in advance.
Okay.
You cannot just do it hivyo kienyeji. So it's going to happen. So nawaambia Simona, nawaambia I know it's 570 people have registered. The registration imefunga.
Oh, umefunga registration.
Yes.
Okay.
Because the planning has to happen. So tutaanza and we shall go everywhere. And then like now, I have, like I'm telling you projects, the ones I'm giving out now. I have in Kapsoya ward bursary. I have for INAPCOI, I have 70 students who are getting bursaries worth 700,000 from Kapsoya. Kaptagat ward 63 students worth 414. Olare 74 students worth 427. Keses Kipchamo Cheptiret 40 students worth 350. The total is 1.852 million. INAPCO is 1.5 million worth in bursary. Kapseret 1.4 million. That's the total. Again, it goes per ward. I'll send you this so you can always show them.
Okay. I'll post.
You can post on your internet.
Okay.
Turbo, I can tell you Huruma, Ngenyilel, Tapsago, Kiplombe. I can tell you the number of students. The total is 1.5 million. Yes. So I do this with military precision. Yes. Maybe I don't talk too much, but I always say I know these people know that I've done that what I'm doing. So soy the same thing. It goes to 1.57. Can you see they're almost the same amount for most?
Yes.
Moiben, it's 1.6 million. Posho meals for INAPCOI. I'm giving how many groups? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 groups, and it's going again. It's every ward. Incubator machines, again it's every ward. Women empowerment, again I've gone like that. Every ward, every sub-county. Posho meals, again nimeandika ya Keses, nimeandika ya... So everything, if it's posho meals, it goes to every sub-county and every ward. So I don't take, everything has to be in that format.
More same way technocrat.
Yes. So I have the data here. And... just so that you know, I put down everything that I do, even for cricket. Tinget, did you send it to me? Oh yeah, vendors of pool tables. So then nakwambia pool tables. Here I have the pool tables. I can tell you with precision.
There is somebody asking.
Interakwa ward, Ndungulu has 1 pool table. Sigalo has 1 pool table. Search for 2 pool tables. Cheboror has 1 pool table. Ndungulu has 1 pool table. Cheru Center, 2 pool tables. Parkeiwa Center, 1 pool table. We'll do the Ninis. Kimuyu has 1. Chebor has this. Kasarani, iko na 1 pool table. So I've written down. Rescos, I can tell you, Oasis Center iko na moja. Chinese iko na moja. Rescos iko na 3. Jumbo iko na 3. Langas Jumbo iko na like that. So the competition, these people have come from these areas.
Okay.
Yes.
So it answer from ground.
It answer from ground.
Kuna mtu hapa anauliza.
Yeah, and they'll win money, Because the whole point is I want them to monetize their talent.
Okay.
And then they'll also get exposed, which means they're exposed to international competitions. That's the whole point.
Okay.
Same thing with the Eldoret City Marathon. The reason why I'm committed to it is that the prize money that remains with our young people is 20 million. The first, number one, wins 3.5 million. Lady, 3.5 for the man. The male, top male, so 7 million for the number one and number one. So number 1 to number 10 ladies, and number 1 to number 10 women in men in the Eldoret City Marathon will get money, but also they get a best time, which they can use now to bid to go to races abroad. When we had Ethiopia brought 35 runners in April for Eldoret City Marathon. They ran, but they were not allowed to win money because I wanted the money to remain here in Kenya.
Okay.
But they've also invited 35 young people, athletes, for me to take in October to the Great Ethiopia Race. And I was telling them, the top 5 for Eldoret City Marathon, I wouldn't take them. Kwa sababu hao wameshajisort. They already have a best time. Hao wamepata agents. So the ones below are the ones I am taking to Ethiopia and they wapate opportunities. For me, it's about creating opportunities, monetizing their talent, and make sure they can earn a living out of it.
So you'll be considering more the people who don't have agents?
Yes. Actually, I believe in nurturing talent.
Okay.
That's why in Eldoret City Marathon, I'm not worried about Eliud Kipchoge or Faith Chepyegon, whom I support very much, but they don't have to, they can attend Kupewa Motisha, but not to run. Because what I want is create the next Faith Chepyegon. I want to create the next Eliud Kipchoge. And that's why I always tell the Ministry of Sports, split when they are still barefoot. When they don't even have enough food to eat when they are training. Those are the ones I want to capture. Yes. Okay.
Tukimalizia Mheshimiwa.
Yes.
You have served in very high places from judiciary to parliament. What kind of legacy do you want to leave for the people of Uasin Gishu and the entire nation at large?
One of the things I tell myself is to make a difference at every aspect where I have worked. I think if you go to the judiciary, the judicial transformation transformation agenda, which is still being used now, I can thank God I did it. I was at Kenya Law Reports. www.kenyalaw.org. I started it together with my very young team of students when we started it. And we were the first African country to ever put the laws of Kenya online for free, available to the public and all judgments. We won what they call TIGA Award, Technology in Governments in Africa Award. Those are the legacies I leave behind. So for me, I don't talk about one legacy. I have a legacy at Kenya Law Reports, the current system at the Electoral Commission, the biometric system, and the very safe and sound electoral process that you have at the moment. I was part of the team that put that in place at the time when I was Deputy CEO in charge of election operations, voter registration, and voter education. That no one can take away from me. I'm proud of it. When I was at the University of Nairobi, I remember I started the trial advocacy, a subject called trial advocacy. We called it teaching the art of winning. We taught students how to present themselves, and we used to have a competition, the moot court competition. It's like the World Cup for lawyers. So you have quarterfinals, finals, and then paka the World Championships. Would be held in Washington, D.C. Students would appear before a mock International Court of Justice. And I can say that Mheshimiwa Murkomen was one of my moot court champions at that time. And I was not wrong. Look, now he's minister. Yes. I remember Dr. Masila, who was one of my champions. Elisha Ongoya, who's a top lawyer now, was one of my moot court champions. That I look back and were the greatest times of my career as a teacher. So when I look back, I'm proud of the legacy I left behind. And now in Parliament, again, when I was chairperson of delegated legislation, we were ranked as the best performing committee with the highest number of reports seen in the history of Parliament when I chaired. That's something I look back on and I'm proud of. So my
And to the people.
My issue is to leave a mark at every place, in everything that I do. Yes.
Come on, women.
And I'm hoping I can leave a mark on this show and that you can call me back again.
True, we'll call you back. Kwanza hiyo mambo ya housing, I
Yes.
think that needs some time.
No, that one you need a whole show.
Yes.
And I can do it very properly, and I can even have the illustrations and presentation. Pesticides, I can talk to our people about it. I'm happy to come and do that.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
So, Nona, we still have other shows with you.
Yes, 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 yes. For me, as long as you're talking about real things that touch on real people and real issues that can change a life, and I tell myself I believe in changing one life at a time. Like I said, something as simple as testing for eye defects and giving the children glasses. I remember we went to Innocence. There were boys who didn't know that they couldn't, they thought there was something wrong with them. Then they're like, I can see now the blackboard. They can read a book. And that, I know those young people change their lives. So for me, if I can just touch one life at a time, I am happy.
Okay.
Yes, and when I see people who didn't know that they were diabetic and they came to our medical camp and they said, I feel weak, hata nimeshindwa kulima shamba, sijui nini, then they are tested, then it's diabetes. They are given tablets, they don't even see the doctor. No, normally we use students, more university students, to do the basic tests. After that, they are okay. They realize they need the medicine. And once you show them that they need that medicine, you give them the medicine for 3 months. After that, they'll go back to the county hospitals and the county will continue giving them the medicine. But sometimes it's to let them know. There were many young women who had precancerous cells for cervical cancer. And we were able to treat it on site. Because if you have they find the precancerous cells, they're able to do the treatment on site immediately, and then you just come later for a medical checkup after a year. We just getting that on time, because remember, many cancers are treatable, but only when they're at the early stage. The problem is it's detected so late, by that time, it's so expensive and there is no result. So we're encouraging our people to do early testing. Many men came to our post-straight cancer screening, and I was told by the service provider, KMET, which was helping us because we have to get higher professionals to do it for us. And they told us that we had the highest number of men in my medical camp. So we partner with them, and for me, if I change one life, when I see the gentleman who we treated at during the medical camp in Bad Forest hospital, he had not been able to pass urine for 7 years. He had an operation which took less than 30 minutes. And he was able to be okay. And I remember the excitement on his face, you know, and he changed his life because his family had literally abandoned him. He was suffering, he could not work. And it was a simple operation. So my foundation, Gladys Boss Foundation, partners with, Passion for Giving in the United States, and they send us doctors. We also have Dr. Mahendra, who's a spine and brain surgeon here in Kenya, who's also able to partner with me to be able to get us other doctors who come and help. And we also now want to do a mental health camp. Like I said, we know that there's a lot of challenges of young people, and mostly the boy child. And so we want to deal with mental health. And so we'll be doing a mental health camp, working with the Kenya Psychiatrists Association, together with Chiromo Group of Hospitals. And we hope that we can be able to change the conversation on mental health, because a lot of it, people can have treatment, but they don't get treatment on time, or that they don't know that, or there's a stigma. And so we hope that we can be able to do that. And in fact, the pool table game, the reason why we call it crack it, we are saying usi crack, crack it. Yani we'll fight that mental illness back. And we are also talking about gender-based violence. And we are saying usigonge, gonga boli, usigonge dem. So it's also a way of teaching us about gender-based violence. And so it's both mental health, because we also believe that nobody beats up women just for the sake of it. It's a mental problem. They do have challenges that they must be helped to overcome. So those are some of the, that one is the one that we are dealing with. Yes.
How often do you do the kama hiyo mambo ya clinics? Maybe there's somebody who's watching this show and has a problem associated with the one that you have explained.
Yes.
How can he get help?
What I normally do is when we plan the medical camp, the first time I started was in 2018.
Okay.
We had the first one at Burnt Forest Sub-County Hospital. And normally we look at the need in society. At that time we realized that there were so many people who had been scheduled for operations, but the problem was there wasn't enough surgeons to do the operation. So that's when we got a group of surgeons who flew into Kenya. Already the tests had been done in the sub-county hospitals and in some of the hospitals around Uasin Gishu. So ameshafanya MRI, the X-ray has been done, even what operation they're supposed to have has been written. But either they don't have the money or they don't have, the surgeon is not available. So like Burnt Forest has 2 very good theaters, so we were able to use that, yes, with the help of the county, and we were able to do that. And there are people who are challenged. At KSS, I met a girl who is now 13. She was diagnosed with a problem with her heart. Her 2 valves fused. Instead of being 2, they became 1. And she had it. She was diagnosed 10 years ago when she was 3. And they said she did an operation which needed 700,000. Her mother did not have 700,000. So the girl has just struggled and struggled. And now she's reaching a point where she almost can't breathe. And when she came to the medical camp, during the medical camp we had a telemedicine room where there were doctors in India who could consult with the local doctor. So if there was a case they couldn't deal with, they moved the person to the teleconference. They've agreed that they can do the operation for her. But before that is done, more tests need to be done. They said she urgently needed an oxygen concentrator. And thank you, M-Pesa Foundation, because you bought the oxygen concentrator for her. Yes. So changing just that one life. If I do nothing the whole year, and that girl is able to get her life back, I think I'm grateful. Okay. Yes.
Asante sana mheshimiwa. Maybe tuambie your closing remarks.
Oh, yeah, and sorry, you were saying about the medical camps. So just when they happen, usually what happens, because the medical camps cost a lot of money, and it requires a lot of logistical planning. So what happens is that once I have all the doctors who've agreed to come on board, once there is agreement, I have to get all the medicine, has to be available. I have to talk to a lot of sponsors who have to help support us. Then we are able to announce the dates. But already I have a list that we realized that we need to do women health separately from men health, because we realized that when we want to do things like post-treat and so on, we better do just a men's camp and then a women's camp. But of course we still run a general camp on the side, because when people come we can't send you away. Sure. So please listen out. I always advertise on radios, all the local radio vernacular stations. I always definitely announce on Kass FM. It's always on Inoro because of the demographics of Uasin Gishu County. Mulembe FM, Ramogi FM, all those. And so usually people turn out. I've never had less than 3,000 people in any medical camp. So kindly listen out to the announcements on the local stations. I always also post on my social media pages when it's upcoming, and we shall be able to do it. I know that because the one we had in KSS, we had to close the gates at 3 o'clock, and already we had over 4,000 people inside. And wananchi were very upset. They were saying, kwa nini umetufungia nje? I went to talk to them. I told them, hata ukiingia, the doctors won't be able to see you before 7 p.m. So allow us to discuss with our sponsors, if we can run it again. And I know that I've spoken to M-Pesa Foundation, and they've agreed that we will run another one. But we may not necessarily do it in Keses. We might do it in Moiben or any other place. And maybe one other thing that I'd like people of Uasin Gishu to know, sometimes they've asked me, why are you doing it in such and such a hospital? I don't choose which hospital. Because when I'm planning medical camps, I'm not a medical doctor. I work with medical doctors who advise me. So if certain surgeries are supposed to be done, it is the doctors who choose the hospital depending on the facilities available. So for example, Burnt Forest sub-county, I've done there several sub-county hospitals, I've done it many times because they have the theater and they have the beds. I've done in St. Bridget's, a Mission Catholic Hospital, because walikuwa na hiyo theater. I have done the cataract surgeries in Ziwa Sub-County Hospital because Ziwa Sub-County Hospital has an eye clinic and an ophthalmologist on site. There is already a local doctor, because when we do this, I have to work with the local doctor who will do the follow-up. So yes, I apologize if I haven't done it. I know that Moiben told me, why have you not done it in Moiben Hospital? I explained that the challenge is at the facilities. But I know that I did speak to the governor's team, and they agreed that to be able, that in this new financial year, they will add some of the equipment that we required in Moiben, so that we can be able to do it there. So it is not my choosing, and my apologies. But when we have the medical camps, it's not even only people from Uasin Gishu. People come from as far as Trans Nzoia.
So it is not limited to the people of Uasin Gishu.
You see, when you announce, I'm doing it for Uasin Gishu, but when people come, we don't send them away. We treat everybody. So people come from Nandi County, people come from Trans Nzoia, all the neighboring. But I understand, because MTRH serves 19 counties, probably even more. And that's why Gladys Boss Foundation partners with MTRH, because when we operate somebody, if somebody is dealt with during the camp, they have to go somewhere to follow up. And MTRH have been exceedingly supportive, and so have the sub-county hospitals. I've done in Pioneer Hospital here, and they've been also very supportive kufanya follow-up. Yes, thank you.
Sawa sawa. Asanteni sana. Maybe just a closing remarks tukimalizia.
Yes. I just want to say thank you for the opportunity to come on this show. I will definitely come again. Like I said, I'm tired of toxic media, because I didn't talk about progressive things. So I'm happy to come to a show like this that talks about things that concern the people of Uasin Gishu County and the people of Kenya at large. And to the people of Uasin Gishu County, I shall continue to serve you diligently and wholeheartedly. Thank you. God bless you.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa. Thank you so much for honoring our invite. We have really enjoyed. We have had a very, very interesting conversations. At least pia sisi watu ambao tuko kwa media tumelearn a few.
Yes.
Vitu ambao tuko tunajua inaendelea. To our viewers, asanteni sana. Keep watching. Remember, each and every Sunday we are coming to you live, bringing you very interesting conversations. So asanteni sana and have a good night.